It started about 10 years ago. It wasn't very frequent, and slowly over the last several years, it's gotten a little bit worse and a little bit worse.
Okay.
Not a whole, maybe pills. Definitely tried medications. Um, they would work a little bit, but then mentally, I would end up, destroying any opportunity they had to help me. I think I was still shutting myself down. I just didn't have that confidence.
Yeah.
They didn't fix any, the confidence, the lack of confidence that I had. I did a lot of research, as I do with anything else. There's a lot of information out there on the net and different places. I tend to kind of get when I'm looking for something or looking for a resolution to something or looking for information. I kind of get what's consistent across the board, and that's what I really look at. I did find a couple other clinics here in Utah County. I did visit two of them prior to coming here, and had consultations with them. And once arriving here, it's just as silly as it sounds. I felt right at home, both with meeting yourself and your staff. I just it made me feel like if there was a place that was going to help me, it was this place. And coming down here weekly, it is almost difficult to think this might be my last time down here. This is the last time I get to interact with these people. I mean, as silly as it sounds, in 6 weeks, I felt I've built somewhat of a bond and a friendship with the people here. So that to me, that's a big part of healing, and that's a big part of getting past what I've now learned is something that every guy deals with at some point. And before, like I mentioned, 10 years ago, I was under a rock, and over that time, as it got worse, the more and more I quit being who I was. I lost my confidence. I gained shame and lost confidence, and those stronger character traits that we have, those began to diminish. Why the questionable ones continue to get stronger. And now, having gone through the treatments I went through and spent the time with each of your staff here, I've come to realize just how much that confidence played a role in allowing me to be who I really am. And it's, and I would strongly, anybody who's looking, for an opportunity to aid the physical treatment side of it, and be the ability just to find their freedom and get out from underneath that proverbial rock that I was found myself under, this is the place to go to do it. No. Matter of fact, I was just telling the tech earlier, it's funny, from my first 3 treatments, not that I ever questioned it, but it was like, you guys doing anything? I couldn't. I mean, you could hear the machine, and you could feel, at least myself, I could feel contact, but that was really about it. To my last treatment today, it was like, the sensitivity is insane. So all of a sudden, I can feel it, and there was one point today where it didn't ever reach the point of pain. It was like, whoa, I wonder if that's what some guys feel most of the time. But for me, it didn't even meet the level of discomfort. Physically, I've had some great results. Size difference, definitely sensitivity. More so than anything else for me, this has been, and I think when we first talked, the day that I came in here, I had made that decision. I was going to face this, and I was going to fix this no matter what it took. The physical treatments gave me my mental and emotional confidence back, and allowed me to defeat this, and allowed me to, again, pull myself out from that rock that I don't know, without the physical treatments, be able to do that. But to me, this was a proverbial door that opened, that you gave me, the strength and the courage to walk through it. She's been very supportive, yes. On a level of connectivity with me and my wife, this has changed my whole relationship with her.
Wow.
Simply because of the treatments and that confidence I've had. But it also helped me realize that, and this is probably more so than anything else through this whole process, subconsciously, I was avoiding anything that could possibly be considered a connection with my wife, to avoid the potential of an intimate failure later. This has opened up a relationship with my spouse that I've never had. In a single word, connectivity. Prior to coming here, being the typical guy, I guess you could call it, to where intimacy to me prior to coming here and receiving treatments and being involved with the people here, intimacy was created physically for me. If I wasn't physically engaged with my wife, intimacy didn't exist. I now understand that there are intimacy levels far beyond that have nothing to do with physical intimacy. I enjoy putting my arm around my wife. That was just kind of something you did before. now I enjoy every aspect of a touch or a kiss or a hug. It opened up a whole realm of intimacy to me that allowed more and more connection, and it is continuing. Those connections are still forging. Your staff here are amazing, and there's no question in my mind that this is about doing it not only doing it well, but doing it right. And it's, at the end of the day, it's not about the treatments. I mean, all that is important, but it's about helping people.
Yeah.
And I can tell you, as somebody that just simply 4 or 5 months ago was in a place, was in a very dark place, to where I am today. A big chunk of that is who you are and who your staff are, and that they care and they want to help people. I truly love you guys for the opportunity you've afforded me to have a life that I didn't think was even possible. To anyone who's just even if I mentioned earlier, even if you are that pessimist, even if you're, well, is this going to work for me? It's just, I came to a point where either I had to decide one of two things. I either need to just live with my condition the rest of my life, and go on. And the perspective I have now is I could never possibly, but 6-7 weeks ago, that I either had to just deal with my condition, and just live my life status quo is the way it was, or I'm going to find a way to beat this. I am so happy I chose the latter. If there's anywhere you're going to go at all, to even question that pessimistic aspect and to find your treatment and to find your freedom, it needs to be here with Happy Valley Clinic.